Today's Friday, the 24th, 2016 of this June month. And this is exactly what you asked me to express, Your Honors. The flow-C forced for denigration, like you saw, didn't stop, sorry. And the reality is I have been walking around with a very 50 kilos. Oh my God. I have a very state of health which worries me. Okay, this is exactly the thing, Your Honors. My accounts have been profaned, and not because of ons, Melech, Gadebas, MELEHC'HA from Israel, from Elebron, which is patrimony of, and they has rights. Like also with you, license office to real. And you are watching about the problems. Google Legal sent you that 806,204,809 visits inside my accounts. But Cámara Nacional y Federal de Comunicaciones, Presidencia de la República Argentina, Poder Judicial de la Nación, Congreso Nacional, Ministerio de Defensa, Ministerio de Seguridad, Policía Federal Argentina, Fuerzas Armadas Argentinas, Ejército Argentino, Armada Argentina, DMT, CIDE, Comunidad KIRSHCNERS, erupted and robbing with los profesionales del barrio de Floresta. With Policía Federal Argentina, which keeps all around here, like the one that I just crossed by that I told you, that Bento car, stolen from one Jewish family, delivered into rape and murder, like I've done with the rest all. Degenerado, Policía Federal Argentina, DNI, 18,906,805. 804,204 middle, DDI 44341, middle 8, registers of Security Council of the United Nations. Talking to the diablos oportunistas de este maldito barrio, that my mother will be a prostitute and I will be a bereaved, whole making that they liars and them trouser happy, jumping on the whole of the dusty hocus pocus. Diablo degenerado de Sodoma. And the whole of the rest making the same. And also giving what is sent to my person, documents, money, and sharing with and saying, here, this is for you, to anybody around. And also the documents. And that I never received no thing. Never received. And didn't sign it, not declined, not given nothing like I told you. If I want to decline, the first I do is contacting the person that is responsible at what I would be about to receiving from. And at the clear fact of the reality, I proceed about to doing what I naturally would do, which is contacting you and asking you which the reality for, so I would take a moment to understand, and if there is something that concerns to my person, I act aware of it. If there is something I don't want, I tell you, I'm sorry, I cannot receive this. Where should I unsubscribe or simply decline or deliver back? So suddenly, I do not give to not perro degenerado, Policía Federal Argentina, Fuerzas Armadas Argentinas, ningún ministerio de degenerados de Sodoma y Gomorra, creídos de seguridad y defensa, criminales de cuarta, psicópatas masivos y conscientes e intencionales, for to make the business about what is my right, which ain't here, but for a business of this casta de degenerados masificados, inclusive civiles. Than parties, like Kirshner Sol and Cristina Fernández de Kirchner. Gestalt 143. Telling that offers 1 million pesos, but is $1 million, to anyone to provide information about my person and can say something or witnessing anything, and anyone is willing for anything in base, so everybody knows, what do I care? I want my million. esta tierrita degenerada, and delivering this barrio de degenerados con el perdón de algunas víctimas, that I were steering to Republic of Argentina, everything we were working with justice parties registered since the beginning until the last, the whole I have been doing. And robbing from our accounts and telling us rights off. And with frank corruption in Argentina for the whole of the universities and whatever the institutions for registers of pagans, national intellectual property, and what it is the musicians and the whole of the degenerados with titles saying they done, and I robbed them. For about 906,204 in the whole Latin America, with them and this at the head. 904 million. And keeps on making the same, offering money and rewarding from Ministerio de Seguridad y de Defensa, see the Policía Federal Argentina, Presidencia de la Nación, about information for my person because if I will be the one that attempts against the patriot and I will rob everything for they. Anyone to say if anything on this belongs to them, that I will rob everything, where robbed from? This, of course, is incapable. And keeps with the same, that I will ever have to be internated, because if I will be a very dangerous one. And I just crossed two perros degenerados of the Ejército Argentino, 1,706,204, 1,820,809 DMC intelligence with a very Ranger, Plachmachatia, Plachmachelibios, Paple, Sosir, Speltachnim, Dasmer, Double Care, telling the Cristomacan Caderina, sodomitas degenerados, perros zoófilos, pedófilos, tufófilos, como todo degenerado ejército argentino, psicópatas ramsesistas, perros asesinos, criminales de cuarta, genocidas, perras, everyone, y perras violentas, y los voy a bajar a todos. Now, the reality is, plebes modleki marrefejol jibi plebesosir, perras degeneradas, Ministerio de Seguridad, sorry for this violence extreme point. Keeps on making the defamations all over and joining whatever and whoever to want a million for the saying anything is justified because of they want them patriot. Whatever the sick son of a snake and Rótolo with them organizing a lot and the whole of the brujo degenerado de esta malnacida degenerada tierra organizing everyone and making the opportunistic saying with the witch, with the Janitors, with the Kirshner and with an evangelic they will be me. And coming to the States and evangelicals saying with this he's detained and getting everyone to taking and touching my things. All things of Melech, MELEHC'HA and I and of Lebron and of Govil and the whole of justice parties, telling that they done first and trying to with teller chat all around they went, seeing who we were working with to kidnap or simply teller chat making, deliver information to Argentina for later reproduction saying, at last we proved and we shown that the whole he murdered is because of he taken from, and the ones that said I murdered are all alive seeking for the glory and the prize. That 3/3 coming to the world already hunted and in hell. Alright then. Seplebet formasechal chalegim herfochwa plevesoshev espasev implebet formasechal chalki viboblev soshvatzimavim. And keeps on making the same, saying that God had taken the land of Israel and went to Israel to make sorcery instigations and the generations. Evangelistas of Guillermo Araceli, Osvaldo Carníbal, Omar Cabrera, Carlos Anaconia, Juan Crudo, Bernardo de Mateas, profaning me and saying that they are going to know everything justified by the Lord, saying that they are going to make spiritual war, and inviting the whole of that generates this for the making disasters and destructions. Diablos degenerados de mierda keeps on making the whole that they are for. Degeneración de Sodoma. Pudrición babilónica, perros abominables crías de Faraón, es lo que son. Con el perdón de víctimas. Now, Slekama refechod chalikim refoch vapleve soshet famir. Implaves patechta chalchalem like every KIRSHCNERS. Hitlerians, Ramsesians, cría de Faraón. Animales del Seol de Sodoma y Gomorra. Con sus especiales, sus expertos y sus ministerios de seguridad, defensa y cada degeneradito civil que les acompaña. Keeps on making the plekmachik forgive like that Melone, abogado, Fareso, abogado, Gabriel Nomel, abogado, Rindel, abogado, Tosevi, abogado, Gudimar, abogado, Stoischer, which is not Jewish, actually DNI 22,706,909, Planset, which neither Jewish, abogado, for the making the business about my life. They are making the case against me. And I will ever have to have for fencing the land and tenanting the land and running to the whole of the Argentina Hall of Done. I cannot have the capacity for the mailing of everyone, cada perro de cuarta, and coming to the world to murdering and destroying base of this, telling, acá se le hicimos, acá le ganamos, vamos a tomar el mundo. Tierra de degenerados, tierra de mierda. Nothing changed, nothing stopped. And keeps on destroying my life. I didn't receive nothing. I don't want to say, I'm not sure if I had received or not. You shall see about if something were sent, but people to be protected, and I'm sorry for this. No one stopped and keeps on making the same and called to the family of the husband of Irina, my mother, because of con el Ministerio de Seguridad de Defensa y Poder Judicial de la Nación, certain that I'm going to give you an evidence, started coming to the watch and saying that they will receive the powers given by KIRSHCNERS and Cristina Kirchner and Aníbal Fernández and the other Fernández and any Presidencia de la República Argentina, Poder Judicial de la Nación, a very state of rights about my person to controlling and taking the whole of my richness. Because of my mother will be an incompetent, bad example prostitute and dangerous one. My sisters will be handling them but China's affairs and nothing to constituting about my health need, about I will be a demon. That they will ever have to control the richness and hold my patrimony for the watching what to do also with my accounts and my genius. The problem is that few are ignoring what happens and others are totally intentional, opportunistic, perritos degeneraditos, desubicaditos, bastarditos, which I one day die. Except the victims. Now, the reality is that keeps on forwarding with this, kept on making that I will ever have to receiving a pension for disability, and keeps on saying Cristina Kirchner, Presidencia Argentina, Poder Judicial de la Nación, Policía Federal, Ejército Argentino, can keep the whole of my patrimony, my intellectual property in the whole I have, das mehr. I have been working, and you with me, every one of you, to any perro de cuarta, to having a share about they call to F-word and kill to the world and say that they takes the states, United Nations and everything I've done, and evangelicals degenerados of Guillermo Resupreme, Osvaldo Carníbal en Universal, with this, perros degenerados de Sodoma y Gomorra, KIRSHCNERS, que son lo mismo, in front of the whole of the people saying that they've done all we've done, and Nova and the colony, and the whole of the programs, and the whole we were falling in. And also, like I told you, are gonna reclamation making with supposed suits. About they will show that the whole of the songs I just sang and the whole that we have been doing with what we made in donations for the making a better possibilities for infrastructures about helping people in need. And the names were UNICEF and Enable. With the Justice and States bodies and liaison office at the head with these all programs. About the saying that I stolen them the songs and the money they will ever have to perceive a retribution and choosing themselves as if the money will ever have to be given, but I will be delirium and making my comfort thinking I'm sane in the streets. So tierrita degenerada, like this called, knows that I am royalty of Israel and saying, Elebron has to receiving a notification that I am in rights to controlling what is going to happen and what is happening about its richness, and never came to me. And they won't, and I won't accept nothing, and I'm going to make them die. And whoever to be a victim, I want them to be off of here and protected. And I have. And with the arguments. Los quiero muertos. Now, Fleckamav, Refefechot, Haligifot, Veshefimav, the Captain Siglanders, the Rada Degenerada, it's making the same in the whole number except for those listers. And I'm sorry, violence, I cannot chill down or chill out about this. I really cannot. I want the slam dead. This is enough. Are calling more, and the whole goddamn disgusting Latin America invited for this. And I want to cut them this class all dead as numbers 3. And this is not going to change, and they are not under Ealing, and went to instigating with Kirshcners and evangelicals for the whole of the world to make the same, and delivering Jewish people for the being raped and murdered and destroyed and dispossessed and destroying them lives at the point to everyone to be understood. So sees if can take Israel and saying they will defeat the devil, the beast, which will be me. They will control me and govern me, and they will show that I will be nothing and no authority of no God. And delivering, if I will think I will win. And keeps on raping and murdering people and supporting the shit that they are living off. Sodoma and Gomorrah. Ministerio de Seguridad, de Defensa, and because of his not working, and the sense that not works, also makes offenses to everybody and damages everybody, and runs to the girls and the guys of the armed forces and to the chiefs of armed forces and to militaries and to the whole of the communities and universities. Have you seen that stealing to the evangelics? And I never came back. You better give the money back to evangelics, because if you're going to destroy and kill all of the Jewish, and I tell you again, and I'm telling you, peronistas, kirchneristas, y cada perrito degenerado de los barrios, asociados, seeking for the million. Keeps everyone with the same. Maldita tierra degenerada. Keeps everyone with the same, and I'm sorry, the victims, I want them all out of here. Threatening Army Argentina and kidnapped 604 Jewish families for the being massively raped and murdered. Missing 5. None touched yet. And 8,004 members of Jewish communities in Argentina, I want them all safe, each the whole. Whoever to be a victim, we already spoken about this, we discussed about this. And when my friends away from here are safe, everyone please. With them families, with them belongings, they have lives. Victims and innocents, I need them out. I need to devastate this cut them land. I don't want to keep on no more. This way, I didn't keep no rights, and no rights given. In base of brujas evangélicas, brujos, diablazos degenerados y degenerados, nazis, Sodoma, KIRSHCNERS. Delivering they can. I'm pretending to call my sister and my brother-in-law, for they're making the paper as well, which I don't know where are them flight brings up, around what clouds of a very toxic Sodoma cloud, or Nazi KIRSHCNERS cloud, actually, with the intestines filled of the dusty hardest bodies of Sodoma, the bodies, which they pretend to be our people. So in the middle of this all, keeps on making the same, and keeps on propitiating the same class of other generations, forging and lying, and making a class of things and saying that they must be paid because of I damaged them country and every one of them in this neighborhood. Everybody went damaged by me, and I will steal everybody the whole I done for a number of 8,204,804 each of them, the whole of the punishments are done or disseminated around, which has opportunities for about 10 to 20, 30, 40 million each as punishments and robbery. But group, they will done just one, the whole. You have the complete of the registers, since side again, since with again. All. And Ministerio de Seguridad keeps on making the same and keeps on persecuting my life all over for the murdering and destroying people of ours, and keeps on making genocides and keeps on making the whole of the profanation, and perras de Sodoma Federal keeps on delaying that they have strikes and kind talking to me and visiting me. The same some paramédicos and the same Border Via Pinheiro saying, he lies too much. Don't you tell me he's not consuming drugs. It's a delusional virus all over. Mythomania can be exponential for the getting money for something. I don't bear this. And it's them what they are doing this all the time. The protection of Diabla Gargola Mengele or Mengele are all escuela de nazis. Diablos criminales degenerados. But few. Are Mengele. And KIRSHCNERS are Helfemer. La casta más reventada, degenerada, podrida, sociópata, manipuladora, criminal, sodomita y gomorrita de toda la historia de la humanidad. And really are. With them societies. Criminalcitos degeneraditos. Cada uno. Now the reality is in MELEHC'HA, SEHLA, REFORGES kept on making the same and no one ever stopped and kept on moving by the ghost way. And kept on hugging Israel, US, liaison office, United Nations, and the whole we've been doing, and sending ships to Nova, to colony, and everyone were trapped and trying to robbing and kidnapping people. No one has an old death. Thank God. Now the reality is, supposedly I have been the whole days blow-chopping boners and degenerates and robbing what I do. And Grace is waiting for me, my job, and I need to get out of here and being the senses of the person I am and forgetting about this permanent denigration, destruction, besmirching, profanation, destruction that I carry robberies on the making less humanity against our people and against me. I need this to be over. And in this land death, no one is going to stop except what we understand and the victims. I need them out. I need this land over. I am not making genocide. We're not making genocide. Justice doesn't constitute genocide. And if there is a nation willing for the making these abominations, and everyone is conscious and willing for, I quiero que casar un millón de presidente de la... Ay, yo me engancho. To destroying my life and saying that has rights, and murdering Jewish and saying that they can take the world and they can be. With all of the brujo degenerado, evangelista degenerado, kirshcnerazo y peronazo degenerado, y perro criminal civil, to the making business about. Con su maldita Sodoma y Gomorra.
Tómate los remedios, por favor.
No te quiero volver a escuchar. Sorry. With its captain Saddam Omar, Ejército Argentino, Armada Argentina, Ejército Zona Sur, Armada Zona Sur, which doesn't exist as not United Nations in Latin America. UNASUR is a club de degenerados de Sodoma y Gomorra, ramsesistas y perros abominables, colectivos, genocidas, masones y perros psicópatas. And they love that. And it's what they do. And the liars that they have International Court of Justice, International Criminal Court, and threatening to destroy the world with perros degenerados evangélicos and this, making parties on the AQLWAYS. all over. And keeps on making the same and no one stops. So the reality is simple. Justice doesn't constitute genocide once we understand what we do. Justice. Why would we murder? Victims we rescue. We execute. Stuff is hard, but I don't want the people I love and the whole we have been fighting and fighting for this, destroyed for a bunch of conscious, disgusting sons of shit that loves to be shit. The shit with them. Over with it. Everything is on and everyone keeps on the same. I give this and I'm sorry, I am not feeling alright. I came on a very, you saw me and came in a very extortions and kept on happening the same all. The diplomacy seats of US, Switzerland and Israel were attacked again here in Buenos Aires. They are already right weights there and protocolarly, and really are. And Ejército Argentino made them the attack this time. Protocolarly with Interpol in front of the cameras of the international breaking news. And the reality which keeps on happening around. Now at the point for the soldier runners. Keeps on producing and propitiating the same to my person, are going to keep on threatening and keeps on obstructing and keeps on deflecting, diking, making the impossibilities and destroying my life, and keeps on making defamation, institutional, international, national destructions all over in them pipe songs, them televisions, and them ways of communications, and them acá digo, tierra de degenerados y de perras. And I'm sorry my terms, forgive me please. And this is provoking for the self-mobile. Already they called. Provoking for the self-mobile. Me ofende pedenigra. Eso es el santo de Dios. ¡Qué guerra y violencia! Los voy a matar a todos. Gestalt para la degeneración de su maldita podrida existencia de cada uno. And I'm sick of that. Sleki magre fechoa chaba plevis partach machalki visbatenar pleve fechot chalki viforot chalvi soshmat levisvi in sevim. And blektikat chelechat chalevi formasechu ashvek plevesasim. Are going to keep on making the same and says that Kara comments at my house, coming for Graciela, making them understand, coming for Monica, and keeps on making the same for Gloria. Gloria keeps in a very state of, makes me desperate. The same this woman, and you just heard and saw. And the same the rest. Oh. And this will be a Amapola, or this will be stuff, trucks, frula, pot. Supposedly we'll ever keep to this, you can analyze it with a satellite. To the herbs store that I went, naturist store, were in this package already, once she gave me from the same container she had. And I asked her, like I bought the time before, which were exactly this, calendula, bulb and flower leaf. So suddenly, plek marre fechot chalgimi fogosh fechalech ma plevis foch ma chalgivid plevis pachti kamar chalim, dehydrated. So pleve fech mosechal chalgimi rofocho plevis oshpat lech ma chalgim. For making fusion. Now, supposedly this will be also New Age witchcraft. Like we said, Evangelistas Infernales de Cuarta has an argument for anything with the burden of victim and victims. A clear fact of whatever is propitious for what they has as business. If El Chai comes and names me, cannot be El Chai because of names me. If El Chai comes and the same person says, I don't need you, oh Lord, Can you give me its flesh? If Eladon makes fire come from heaven and consumes degenerados criminales and makes them ashes like mummies in the hell, the devil were permitted to make a fire come from the heaven. And if the Ruach Elohim comes and says, I am going to show you and I'm going to make you understand, and the same Spirit, Almighty Kadosh God, destroys them and puts them in hell, the devil has power in profaning and using God. Whatever's got that sin, and they got to having the right about they things, it's going to happen because of they says. And they thinks they are going to be because of they liars. They can make it. Because of justified by the faith theirs. Diablos, profanos, paganos, which starts to make it now. And singing, while we were singing, to sing that I will kill Bigtan, Ishmotegan, profaning them for the making business, while walking in the streets, robbing them. What I were doing while walking on the streets with no can get out of this tierra degenerada, because of what thirst to keep on doing with that whatever arguments like this, perros degenerados, anything is okay for them. For the obstructing me, robbing me, and making the hostile degeneración podrida, to the taking the world, and F-word and killing my people. Tierrita de mierda, perras delirantes, de Sodoma y Gomorra, se van a pudrir en el infierno, hagan lo que hagan y se esfuercen con la maldita degeneración injusta, por toda la eternidad, y sus evangelistas con ustedes, perros de cuarta. Sleki magrefe joa pleves pachma sechalhim, in pleves pochol plikar revechale visospatsema, redchale chematim, and keeps with they are making the videos. My identities will be them, and the liar, I will rob them and I don't work, and I rob them and I take everything off of them. And I also pretend to be holy of the God with the things I do, and I will be a profane, a chunky, a degenerate, I will chunkize myself, that will be a lie. They will never have to come and checking if there is something and taking everything because of they should never just making a reaction about the reality that I will rob. But they will own everything and also an impound immediately because of I will have the whole documents which will each identity for the any perro degenerado argentino that the liar that they will be me and will have the experience in the life that I had and the Holy God. And Comisaría 40 making the meetings. With the rest, perros de cuarta. Now the reality. Fablegin maharfachol chalibi fablevisma, kelcham chalchilikivit, bleshevel fablevifogot chalchilis spotlets and sashmatim, ret chalichimimitla, foshva, and ploves pechal chalekinisim. And this maricas de mierda de la federal, y el resto, le ponen muy de la cabeza. Sorry the word. Keeps them making the whole of the defamation and degenerations and destruction and murdering and attacking people because of you are not got offense to us in the Patriot, saying that ain't not happening what we say. Like evangelistas degenerados and KIRSHCNERS with, and this perros de cuarta coming to Jewish houses telling them that they got to giving the money back to the evangelics for about 8,604,904, saying that I robbed them. And they just gotta pay also for what I robbed them last because of they didn't allow me to do, saying that it's them being and not mine. Why exist and what I do. And this is not, but you already know, they are. They do this. And I supposedly shall be detained right now and delivered into the internations. Sleka magra fechele chimi bachba blevisoshev, in bleve forums fechela chimi blevisosteveshva, in kletika retchalchma blevisoshev me. And keeps on destroying and murdering our people. And there's no answer for this. I got not consoling. And the only rest will be putting them to death. No one stops and they're not going to change, not like I avoided. This that I'm saying is self-mobile, self-stimulation, for them to keep on making the same, threatening with murdering people like you saw. One were wounded, not death, and could make a check. I give my will. I give with my obituary. And I give the proof. There are words that I shall ever receive. 5 credit cards, 6 laptops, MSI 17 inches screen, 2, and others Hewlett Packard bigger screen with i7 and i5, and some mobiles, and I didn't receive nothing, and Policía Federal Argentina are making the repartija, which is mine, telling that they have rights and orders given by KIRSHCNERS, Presidencia y Poder Judicial de la Nación for data to this. Because if I will damage and rob to the patriot. Because if I will be what they says I will be. And the less humanity paid, that will be narcos money, and robbery for the evangelics and the whole of the people here, and the nation too, that kept on making and done to me since my father and keeps, perros de género de cuarta, and thirst to keep on doing. Will be money robbed because of I will be just a hole that they said nothing like holy of the God, but goes to the Lebron, to Israel, demanding that they better be paid because of I will damage the land so much, and that will be my legal address because of I will be royalty of Israel. So tierrita de mierda, want them all dead. And it's another jurisdiction. This is damages, but this is because of he is needing medication, and we know that he cannot do it and cannot pay to us because of the offenses. It's another forum and another jurisdiction for. So for one side, I am not medicated and I'm a liar, and I should be internated. But for the other side, Lebron and government of Israel, and you shall pay them millions of dollars because of I will damage them. And they will make in the Black Machine President zijn clever for rechtvaardig with BASFI, the Argentinian law, and endorses and empes. It's another jurisdiction. And the family is not responsible, so they're going to be stripped off from all they have for the damages to the patriot. Like with our people. And the justice bodies and all I've been doing. We were damaged! Oh, give me your... Sorry. But, because of my patriot were damaged, I want to kill them all. And it's exactly what this marica de mierda are doing. Forget the term again. With them bodies civil, perritos de muerta, and evangelistas. KIRSHCNERS de mierda. So suddenly in the middle of this violence, forgive me please, there were also one rumor of 5 cars were pointed to my person and robbed, like the one that Mr. President Barack, with justice parties and Yorona Edmond, sent me from New York City for twice. The first with a Ford Kuga, brand new, 0 kilometer, like we name here nominatively. And the second time were a Ford EcoSport from Miami, Florida, brand new, for I to have at the port, because if we wanted protocoler, I to make the submittings and deliver my life to there, and Amia with another that they will take care of this last, telling that we're robbed cars that they will ever have to taking, and they turn to taking it and using them, saying that they have rights to doing whatever they want to me and stripping me out from everything I got. Policía Federal Argentina, Fuerzas Armadas Argentinas, Ejército Argentino, to our people and to the nations because of, let's do whatever we want because of. They will command. And Cristina Fernández de Kirchner and Ejército Argentino, and Armada Argentina and chiefs, and Presidencia de la Nación, and Poder Judicial de la Nación will ever give them rights for, everything will be okay. Nothing will happen. And also my life. And keeps on commercializing my DNA, and keeps on learning that I need medications, and that they are offense. And that I do the whole day says because of everybody will see me, and nobody can say it's not happening. Because of you're the Policía Federal Argentina. We are the patriot. Who is this one? I am Argentinian. Tell the government of the US to pay. And money that I never received, and documents I never received, and saying, forging that they are me, and sending the generalos with hairstylized facial to demanding to be paid about the money of mine, saying that they has rights, that they will be me. And it's happening. And hard to do. No, Fleckman REFORGES Halgidesim, secreta inteligencia, parritas degenerados, keeps on calling all around, making up a fantasy of degenerados, telling that it's my time to take a position inside of Policía Federal Argentina, of Fuerzas Armadas or Ejército Argentino, for I to take in the condition of respect to the patriot and understanding what is it about the work and then making that respect, because if I cannot be running to Fuerzas Armadas Argentinas, the whole I do. And keeps on making the altar, the generation, the rape, the murder, and vamos a los suyos, agarramos a todos los suyos, se los casaron, hacemos todo para que se los casen, eso como todos se lo hacemos, acá le ganamos. Everyone keeps with the same. I want this land dead. I want the victims off, completely off, and at once, and I want this land completely dead. With the whole of the botched shit which this disgusting hell land yes it has. And I'm sorry, but it's this. Enough. HTTPS www. Middle. Y todavía se hace el macho poderoso y se hace el glorioso y viene acá a matonear y a decirnos que mejor nos pongamos las pilas y vayamos porque nos tienen que ejecutar en Ginebra y porque estamos bajo sentencia capital y se hace el poderoso y me chupa un web CBMT5 Middle. Si es del Interpol o del cónsul ese de antiterrorismo, que sea lo que sea realeza de donde se le cante, este PU de MS4543 la va a pagar y me va a mamar la ver CDM52 Middle y se va a tragar mi leche y va a entender que yo mando y que voy a hacer lo que yo quiero y va a ser él cuando yo decida lo que a mí se me ocurra. Y encima nos informa el hijo de PU de MC52 Middle, Plesmar Kelchmatzin Middle, y encima le tenemos que pagar porque le hacemos lo que nos gusta. Y encima tenemos derecho. DMT, Bepel, Bepal, Middle, Sis, Middle, Tinkler, Ed Roffel, Basbat, The Gimmer, Reves, Whatever, Sasim, 8443, Middle, Back, Pets, Back, Bob. Door, MMD, Middle, Sis, Middle, ED, Sis, ED, Per, Sis, 844.INT, F6, the whole last, tools. And I'm sorry my terms in this about door. As tough, as rude, as you can figure out, and worse. And it's this tierra degenerada. And whoever gets on the insulta, pero tiene que decir, anda a defender a tu muerte, porque es lo que estás haciendo. Ninguna otra cosa hay que hacer. Víctimas, me las llevo. La mierda va a morir. I'm sorry, Your Honors, Mr. President, Melech. It's exactly that I'm coming through and I'm tired. It's every day. I don't want the rest of my days like this. And I need this to be understood, that I really need this to be over. And I don't need to be here, unless for such a shit.